Welcome to the Vermilion Podcast, a free audio library of business strategies, creative inspiration, and industry knowledge for actors, filmmakers, writers, and anyone looking to activate their creative potential. I'm Misha Calvert, a writer-director who helps artists build the careers that they dream of. I really hope that this podcast inspires you in some way. Thanks for tuning in.
Money. Let's talk about money. Money is everywhere. And I want to talk about some things relating to money that are hopefully going to make it come to you. Do you want more money? Yeah, me too. So let's give you some strategies to get more money into your life and to think about it in a whole new way, because what I see as a coach now for over 15 years is that a lot of money problems are not external, they're internal. So we're going to address the internal money blocks that you might have so that you can free it up and just have more coming into your life. Sounds like a good thing, right? So for the purposes of this conversation, let's talk about what money actually is. So another word for money is currency. And another word for currency is electricity, an electric current, right? And another word for electricity is energy. Electricity is a form of energy. So A, B, C, D, money in a way is just energy. I want you to think of money in that way. And like energy is all around us, money is also all around us, especially if you live where I live, which is New York City. It goes by different names, but in all its forms, it is all around us. I'm going to give you some other examples of currency that might expand your thinking on this. And this is coming at it from an artist's perspective. And I work a lot with actors, filmmakers, writers, directors, producers. So think of this, from your artist lens, but think about the different forms of currency that are at play with you as an actor. Because currency isn't just about cash. Money is not just about cash. There's other forms of value that are, in some ways equal to cash money. So here's a checkbox of what some of those different categories are. Attention, labor, creativity, property, craft, truth, beauty, taste, youth, talent, followers, and credits. All of these are forms of currency, and they will lead to cash money as the final form of currency, usually. Some of these categories are really interesting too, like followers. Of course, you're going to think of social media followers, but I also think of like Joan of Arc and the people who have followed leaders into battle or across oceans. It's a really powerful form of currency. And I also think of truth and how powerful that currency is, of the people that I follow on social media only because they seem to be a source of truth in a sea of false, right? So that ability to be true and to be honest can be very powerful. So think about your currency. You may not have access to a lot of money, but think about what forms of currency you do have access to. What do you have of value? And what can you offer that no one else can? Why do you listen to this podcast? Why do you like these episodes? Or maybe you don't like them. I don't want to assume. But if you do like the way that I talk, what is the currency that you find you're able to extract from these episodes? I've had to analyze my own brand and get really clear about what am I bringing to the table here? And how can I maximize the value? How can I serve you better? How can I bring more value to you, my viewer and my listener? And get even more skilled and more adept at bringing you that currency. So things like my life experience, my psychic abilities, if you know, you know, my experience in the filmmaking industry, my talent as an actor, writer, and director, my imagination, my vision, and my ability to network easily, to be a clear speaker, and my groundedness, my nervous system regulation, right? People tell me all the time, like, I'll be at an event and someone's like, oh, I love your podcast. Your voice is so soothing. I'm like, what? That's crazy. I don't think of myself that way, but I have to be real about the fact that other people find my voice and my delivery on the podcast soothing, and that is a form of currency for them. That calming sense is really valuable to them. Okay, so take a moment, pause the episode, and write down, what is the currency that you are bringing? What currencies do you operate with? Try and find the value that you bring. It might not be money, but what is it, or what are they? I want to talk now about what I see as poverty thinking. So if getting in touch with your value and your currency is rich thinking, here's what I see as poverty thinking. Expecting something for nothing. Reason being, we live in systems. The universe is comprised of systems. And this isn't something that I came up with. Systems thinking and systems theory is well established and very worth the time to read up on it. But basically, none of us functions in isolation. Nothing is in isolation. It's all connected to systems, big, small, microscopic, macroscopic. So because of that, we're constantly interacting with other things, other people, other organisms. Due to that, the fact that everything is within systems, we're constantly exchanging energy. And it kind of links back to the market, the entertainment market, or really any market, which is a series of exchanges, a series of trades. And that's normal. That's actually like very natural. Everything is trading all the time, something for something. And I find that poverty thinking is expecting something for nothing. It's a two-way street, which I'm going to explain in a second, but either way, either direction, it's a trap. And it's going to lead to scarcity, lack, poverty. By the way, when I say poverty, I don't mean like being poor is inherently bad. It's not a statement on the poor. Poverty is more like, we're talking an energetic mindset here of having nothing and being unhappy about it. So that's kind of the definition that I'm using. I've grew up poor. So poor people are, they're human beings for a start, but it's not any slight on the poor to talk about poverty thinking. I'm just assuming that you want money, so that's the framework of this conversation. Now, I'm going to go into the two different ways that something for nothing mindset can get you into trouble. This one is actually the unexpected use of that mindset, which is, I see this all the time as a coach. It's an artist mindset, or, it doesn't have to be an artist, but the mindset of, I work my butt off and no one values what I do. So you're giving something and expecting nothing in return. We're not talking charity and Christmas morning. We're talking, I slave away and I work myself to the bone at this, restaurant job, and like, I'm just not appreciated, or I give it all up to my family and no one appreciates me. So that's really the impoverished energy that I'm talking about. Trap number 2 is, I'm expecting something and giving nothing. This can take many forms, many different sneaky little costumes that this one wears. This can be the quick fix, the get-rich-quick scheme. This can be the cheat code, the magic pill, the too good to be true mentality. This one thing is going to solve everything mentality. This can take the form of pedestalizing industry gatekeepers, obsession with celebrity, glamorizing show business, and dreaming of fame as a solution to your problems. This can also be entitlement, toward people, places, and things where you feel like you're owed something. Like, well, maybe you owe like $1,000 to someone who is rich. You're like, well, but they're rich, they can afford it. I'm broke. No, you owe them money. So that entitlement can really trap you, because what does that not paying them back do? That reinforces your identity as having nothing. They may not need it, but you're sending a signal to yourself and everyone around you, the entire universal system around you, that you are going to remain broke because you're unwilling to do what it takes to pay them back. So anything where you expect to give nothing and be saved is going to be tricky. Now, of course, I'm not talking about people who are in crisis. I'm talking about artists and actors, and, honestly, it's something that I consider an epidemic of expecting something for nothing. Also known as the battle cry of the starving artist. Also known as being a martyr. If you're a martyr and you're going to die for your beliefs, the only guarantee is that you're going to die. You can't guarantee that you're going to achieve your mission. You can't guarantee that anyone's going to side with you or like you better because of it, or that you're going to be happy or more satisfied. None of that is a guarantee. The only thing that is guaranteed through martyrdom is that you're going to die. So we want to get away from that death energy, at least in this context, and just say, you know what? It's not worth it. I don't want to die. I don't want to suffer because of this I work my butt off and no one values what I do mentality. So this is the trap of expecting nothing for your something. In that mindset, people usually blame others for not valuing them. And what I see time and time again is that if others are not valuing what you do, it means that you first are not valuing what you do. So if you're mad that other people aren't seeing your artistic value, your value as an artist or an actor, you're probably not valuing what you do enough. And you need to actually take yourself more seriously. No one's coming to save you. And as Steve Bartlett says of Diary of a CEO, one of the most popular podcasts in the world, he said, if I've learned one thing over my decade of running this podcast and interviewing world experts, there are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. And I'm inclined to agree with him. That's one of the most important lessons that we can learn. So, if money is electricity and energy, and we are in a system of energy and exchange, take a look at where are you expecting something for nothing? Where are you unwilling to invest your time, energy, or money to get the thing that you want? Also look at where are you giving something and expecting nothing in return in a way that depletes you. Charity can be very fulfilling and not depleting because you are getting something back. You're getting satisfaction, you're getting purpose, the joy of seeing other people benefit. But you know the difference between giving and feeling good about it and giving and feeling drained. Self-sacrificing in a way that drains, martyrdom in a way that drains. So take a look, where are you doing that? Are you demanding something of others and unwilling to give back to them? Are you unwilling to receive from somebody, somewhere? It may seem unrelated, but I am so serious when I say, when I start to work with people on this level, looking at their lives and looking at the non-cash money exchanges and how those exchanges are blocked, we start to free up the blocks. The cash money is soon to follow. I am dead serious. I see it all the time. But on another level, who do you owe money to? And who owes you money that you're afraid to collect? I just had to do this today, actually. I had to tap in with somebody who owes me money, I could very easily have just let it go. It was a situation where it was a small enough amount that I didn't really need it, but like on paper, they definitely owed me. I could have let it go. And I thought of how I was going to come in and record this episode today, and I thought, it is not good for my financial future if I let this one go. It doesn't matter the amount. It's that I want to signal to myself that I want this money to continue to flow. So because I want to be in flow with it, I'm going to have to call this in and I'm going to have to ask them to pay me. And they got right back to me. So take a look at your own finances, where you owed money and where do you owe money. See if you can clean that up. Because to have debt hanging over you either direction is going to create an invisible blueprint of lack in either direction. So really take an inventory of your life and of the market that you exist in, the energetic market, and see how can you create an environment of equal exchange? How can you start to do equal trades in your life? I'm going to do a part 2 on this at some point in the near future, but for now, I'm just going to leave you with this inventory of looking at your life and kind of diagnosing where the unfair trades are occurring. And let's create a fair trade system for you in your life, and we're going to watch the money flow as a result of it. Okay, I hope that this was cool and exciting. I find it very cool and exciting, and I hope that you make a whole lot of money the rest of this year moving into next year. Let me know if you do, okay? Drop me a DM on Instagram at Misha Calvert. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to hear if this worked or not. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next week.
The Vermilion Podcast is sponsored by Vermilion, a home for artists. We offer classes, coaching, and community for creatives and innovators in the arts. If you're ready to find your voice and build the life of your dreams, we're here to support you every step of the way. Check out clubvermilion.com and schedule a free call today.